Recordings.
Hello and welcome to the Monday, 25th of January, 2021 DXbiz Dev call. Today, for the agenda, we'll have new member introduction. Sky will do an overview of the Airtable BizDev opportunities and their status. Almonit has made a proposal to the forum, and Neyman from Almonit is going to review it. We have Tavus from Effectus Network and Bogdan from Slater that are going to, I guess, introduce us to what they are doing. And yeah, do we want to start with introductions? A few people told me that they have people that want to introduce themselves. So feel free. I see Rasit, Milhail, Joel. I think you're all new. All right, Bogdan will be next week. Yeah. Rasit, Joel, do you guys want to introduce yourself?
Hello, I am Rasit from Effectus. Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. So I guess you'll chat more later.
So just a quick, so I asked Joel John from Ledger Prime to join this call as well. I don't know, like he's kind of like a well-known blogger in this space as well, and he works with, he has like very good connections in the VC and in the angel space. And you know, guys, I was always kind of like trying to push the incubation angle for DXDAO, and Joel seemed like really intrigued by that idea as well, and kind of like what the future of venture investing could look like, especially like in decentralized settings. And yeah, so I invited him to join. Joel, please introduce yourself.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. I work with Ledger Prime as a principal. Prior to this, I was involved with Outlier Ventures, which is a European-based fund, been actively venture investing in crypto since 2016. I also do a little bit of writing on my personal Substack. I'll share the link for it right in a bit. Most of my work has been around building deal flow for Ledger Prime, and I head their DeFi strategies for the moment. In the last quarter, we've invested in about 10 firms, and my average day usually involves working with VCs and finding the right fit for them in terms of startup investing. So happy to be on here. Looking forward to working with all of you.
Welcome. This is definitely an angle that we're exploring. So yeah. Bertie, are you also new? Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. So hi everyone, my name is Bertie. I'm a designer based in Berlin. I've been working with mainly early stage startups and design studios for about 7 years, helping them with end-to-end product design, so UI, UX, user research, design systems, things like that. I first got started in crypto in 2018 when I was introduced to Robert Leshner from Compound. At the time, he was searching for his first designer to help him with the design of their app. So I worked with him and the founding team for about a year, working on the first versions of their app and a bit of branding too. Since then, I've worked on a few more other crypto projects, notably NBX, which is Norwegian Block Exchange. They're a crypto exchange based in Oslo. I worked with them for about 9 months, just on improving their web app and also creating a mobile version of the exchange as well. So Nico is the one who introduced me to DXD. A few weeks ago, I currently have some availability, so he asked if I wanted to get involved and contribute to specifically the Mesa product, the MVP. So yeah, that's what I'm interested in helping with at the moment. I'm going to post a proposal like shortly, maybe tonight or tomorrow, outlining the scope and the goals of the project from a design perspective and how I think I can help. So yeah, that's it.
Nice. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to DXDAO.
Cheers.
I think that is it, unless anyone else wants to. Yeah, anyone else? or can we get Sky to do an overview of the Airtable?
Yeah, I can go ahead. So I'm going to share. I actually just put it into like a deck format, so there can be some additional information. But let me see if I can share this. Can you guys see that? Yeah, cool.
Yep.
Cool. So yeah, so the DXbiz, these calls are always like one of the most popular calls of the week. But in terms of like the workings of what DXbiz as a group, which is not very big right now, but probably will expand. And on Thursday, there's going to be a more detailed roadmap and status and resources presentation as part of the Thursday resource allocation of the different squads and things. But this one, I guess coming from last meeting, it would be, people thought it was a good idea to like run through kind of a list of the current opportunities. I like calling them opportunities because there's all these different verticals and pieces that can all go into like, what does DXbiz or business development or partnerships mean? And so just to start like really high level, and hopefully this won't take more than 5 or 8 minutes, maybe 5-10 minutes. I think the idea overall is to like oversee and manage like what opportunities and partnerships are available for DXDAO that will in the end help DXDAO's products succeed, and then overall DXDAO succeed and DXD holders succeed, and new revenue opportunities and things. And so what we've been doing in the past so far is like lots of opportunities, and there's lots of different types of opportunities. They come in from all over in this decentralized collective. They come in from all different angles, from different relationships that different people have. And we, it's kind of been mishmash, like in the first like maybe 4 or 5 months, it was mishmash. And so then we put this process in place to like at least track and have awareness of all these opportunities. And so this simple process of these like 4 steps, when there is a new opportunity, whoever finds that opportunity, or if it's an incoming opportunity into like the Keybase or a forum post or something, the idea is to put some structure around it. And so, anyone in the world or in DXDAO can raise an opportunity. The key is, what are the details of that opportunity? How do we track that? And who's going to be like responsible, or at least like be the main point of contact for different opportunities, so that things don't get lost. And so those are the steps. For all opportunities, here are like a list of the things that we should know about the opportunity. And this can either be like an individual at the entity, like maybe who wants to do an IDO, they could include this information in a forum post themselves. But in a lot of scenarios, I think a DXDAO community member is someone who brings in that opportunity. So really that person should be responsible for having this information and having that communicated to the rest of the community, whether it's through Keybase, a forum post, and then eventually this information goes into a sheet where we're tracking these different opportunities. And so there's kind of a few categories of opportunities that I've grouped things together. And so here I took the there is an Airtable, which is like a detailed form. It didn't make sense to like go through all the details of each one, I didn't think. So just to summarize, and anyone that's interested in in the DXbiz aspect of DXDAO, like feel free to reach out. We can add you to the Airtable. You can become like a key point of contact for different opportunities. You can contribute to the sheet and things as well. So there's like technical opportunities. So we've had experience with Ethereum, like a technical integration where We were doing sponsored gas transactions on Omen, and we have a good relationship with Ethereum. I think there's more opportunities there as you enter in a multi-chain world. A wallet like Ethereum and also this Portis, the third one down, it's a way for users to interact with certain products and things in like an easy way to have multi-chain capabilities, because it's like a separate wallet. And so we have a few different opportunities with Ethereum and Portis, especially going into the multi-chain world. DAO Stack obviously is a strong from the start technical partnership that DXDAO has. I don't think we have like a formal partnership in place, and maybe we can make that more formal, but obviously we have lots of community members that cross both worlds. API 3 is a great opportunity that came in through the IDO world, but also there's a technical integration where we now have a working proposal that has passed to do an integration into Omen, I think first on XDAI chain. And so it's another way to have Oracle information from the real world directly into Omen. Thesis, which is the entity behind TBTC, we've had discussions with them in the past, and so this is kind of technical, but we probably are going to want to have a BTC pool on Swap, and Thesis TBTC is probably the most decentralized version of BTC on Ethereum at this point, and so we have had discussions with them. I think we can do a bunch more with them. We can have incentives as part of that relationship as well. So that'll be exciting once we get the ability to acquire a BTC asset and then have it included in a swapper pool as well. Ether Risk is an insurance entity that we've had discussions with, and I think insurance is along with Nexus Mutual style and maybe other insurance entities and projects as well. Insurance, I think, is a business that I think DXDAO probably will eventually get into. Given the capital we have, given the risks that we have, I think insurance is an interesting topic. And so having that discussion with Ether Risk, which is kind of on hold at this point, but there's some interesting stuff there. And then we have XDAI chain. I guess we can include Arbitrum in there as well. So those are technical opportunities that DXDAO is leveraging as scaling solution tools in addition to mainnet Ethereum. And so there's around both of those opportunities, Arbitrum and XDAI chain, there are lots of other like more in-depth things that we can go into across different verticals as well, such as incentivizing pools and conditional farming and other things as well. And then another category is partnership opportunities. So Status we had was one of our first big like partnership opportunities. We haven't, after the first couple things we did with them, we haven't done much more. Part of it is we haven't had Larray, who was leading that partnership in the beginning, kind of stepped away a little bit, but it became maybe less of a priority until we have something like specifically that we have in mind around that opportunity. Gnosis is the more current, obviously live discussions going on around establishing a true partnership, like a true more hard partnership with Gnosis DAO and what that can entail. And so that's obviously, given the history of DXDAO and Gnosis, that's a really important one, and that's a lot going on right now. Then there are things like investor opportunities where we have Delphi and 1KX and Fenbushi who is interested, having discussions, and Christopher here is an active participant, and the guys from Delphi as well. And so I think there are more possibilities in the investor side of opportunities that DXDAO can move into. Then we have DAO opportunities, which we've had a little bit of back and forth with Prime DAO, Curve Labs, and Badger DAO in the past. I think more and more as DAOs become more and more popular across projects and things, I think more and more other DAOs will want to interact with DXDAO, given the example, the leadership example that DXDAO has shown, basically, like around worker compensation and all these different things that DXDAO is going through and leading the way in. Other DAOs, I think collaborations with other DAOs will become more and more important. Then there's product opportunities, which are kind of a little bit technical, a little bit, could be related to like specific products that we're making, but like 1inch and Paraswap are examples of, once Swapper is up, live and running, we want to make sure that we have a good relationship and a good integration with those aggregators in addition to other aggregators. So that will take some work when appropriate to make sure that those relationships are like fruitful and ongoing. There's like other Oracle opportunities like Chainlink, in addition to the API 3 and band protocol and things. And Web3 API is one that we have actually a notice of intent with, I guess. And then the last couple pages here is the first government as a service opportunity with DMM, which we've have a long-standing relationship with. We have forum posts and things to get that like actual DXDAO participating in the governance of that project, like coming to life. And I think there's more and more opportunities around that aspect. Then we had like research and data opportunities, which we've had a past relationship with DeepDAO. We were going to fund some research from them. Maybe there's other projects out there that we could fund in order to learn things that DXDAO community needs to know. CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko and those, like, I guess I consider those data opportunities. There's probably a lot more out there which we can go after. And then at this point, I categorize as professional contributor opportunities are like whether it's an audit firm like the Sunfish or BlockRocket or Quellcode or ETHWorks. So these are development or other service, kind of professional service entities that we have to manage that relationship with in order to help them maybe complete a project or a specific task that DXDAO needs done. And then the last one is related to what someone just mentioned earlier, is like incubation opportunities. We have a couple where there's Underscore Protocol and Ellipticoin, and we've had a couple other in the past, but I think incubation opportunities where DXDAO brings that entity into its fold, helps fund it, maybe helps test that product. Obviously, Almanit is one who's on here as well, who they're building something that's really useful for DXDAO, and so incubating those opportunities could be and potentially investing in them if there's a token or some new way to do that kind of investment. There's a lot of opportunities there. So I know I said the word opportunity about 500 times, but overall, that's a quick rundown. Anyone that's interested that wants to get involved in these, and this whole thing is going to expand as these products go live, like Swapper and Omen and Mesa IDO. There's just going to, like, this whole thing's going to expand, and we're going to need more resources, like, from the community, even if it's like part-time, contributing to these initiatives. So that's the overview.
Yeah, great opportunities, Kai.
Yeah. Right. Chris doesn't like the word opportunities. If anyone has a better word for opportunity, feel free to shout it out, and we can use something else.
Wait, you're talking about me? I like opportunity. I think that's great.
I thought it was too long or too, like, serious or something. Anyway.
Yeah,
it is long. That's okay.
So I think this is a great kind of recap that gets us up to speed. I feel like we could also maybe use the Airtable and I think basically go over any changes if there were in the status of these opportunities. So yeah, this is a recap, and I guess we can do these like at the
Yeah.
later point.
So there's one issue which is unresolved. Is like usually these kind of business development things or negotiations or partnerships or opportunities. Sometimes you don't want them all out in the public, like incubation stuff. Like there could be stuff that you don't want fully in the public, right? And so DXDAO as a community has to figure out, if you are involved and you want to be involved, you can be involved. But like publishing this stuff out onto like our homepage is not something we're doing at this point. And so we need to figure out the balance between that. So that's kind of why this is the overview. For the true details, make sure you reach out to like the business development team and you can become a part of that. But it's not like something we're publishing on our homepage, So.
All right. Yeah, that's fair. I'm thinking.
I think it would be good to go over, like, just to do what Elon said from week to week. I don't know if that needs to be the Airtable specifically, but I think it's important to have some type of overview of the current opportunities that are ongoing, so people can know.
So what we can do actually is we can start the call with that, and then after we finish with that recap, we can start the recording. Which, like, we would be going over it, but it wouldn't be public recorded and being set on YouTube, so everyone could look at it later.
Cool.
If that makes sense.
So I got one question. I'm not sure what I got it. Like I'm from Almonate, and as you said, we have a potential opportunity. What's the is there some process to be added to the Airtable? So do we need to have a representative in DXDAO who will do that, something like that?
Yeah. So right. So Almanita is on the Airtable. I think Elon has been up to now like the primary point of contact for Almanita because he knows you guys well. I think that's important for each of the projects like yourself to know who would be your main point of contact at DXDAO. Like you can always come into the Keybase and the channels and things, but I agree, like having a project knowing who their appropriate like first person to reach out to with like questions or things is a good idea. And so communicating that to the project or the opportunity entity as well as the community knowing that is important because it's that person's who anyone can come ask questions about that specific scenario to, whether it's a community member or an outside person. So yeah, the good idea.
Yeah, what I also would like to know is like, if someone has a great idea, how can this person signal this idea to the biz team? Like in general, also project teams need to constantly sync up with the biz team, right? I'm not even sure how this will work out, but like I think this crowdsourced approach might be something we can explore. Like, and we need to find a process where anyone first can easily get like a definition about how to easily signal to the biz team that something should be done to make the project successful. Like for one simple example is DXT is not on MetaMask, and that's an issue for me. So like, how could I signal to the biz team that we need to fix that issue?
Yeah, I would say the best place for that is the DXbiz Keybase channel for insiders and outsiders.
Yeah, I would say that we might want to have a sort of like a to-do list, and this is, I mean, just like I guess Geronimo is managing the Omen kind of like product roadmap, we should have sort of like a roadmap and things that you want to do in the biz dev as well. This could be big tasks or this could be small tasks like, I don't know, updating the website in CoinGecko or reaching out to MetaMask and asking them to add DXD. These are all kind of like small tasks that we should have kind of like an aggregator. Then this could be like another board on the Airtable.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, anyone could add tasks there, and we can another thing that we can go over in this call.
Yeah. So to make that even more community oriented, those tasks, which kind of sound like bounties, like really anyone from the community could accomplish that, could work to accomplish that task, and then like tick it off.
Yeah.
So it almost becomes a biz dev bounty board, separate from the other bigger bounty board we have.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome stuff, Sky. Really nice. Anyone has any other comments, or we can move on to the next topic? Yeah, all right. So Neyman from Almonit, you can present. So I've been quite in touch with them. I really like the product, and I think this is great for DXDAO. So
So I think what I can say, we got lots of compliments from Elon along the last few months. So maybe I should also give him one. He's definitely the person that I met so far who is most caring about decentralization in this sphere. I mean, probably there are others who like him, but he's into it. So we had like a long talk on a cup of coffee before Corona began. That's how we got to know each other, and he's really into it. It's awesome. So, hi, I'm Neyman. I'm from Almonit. I was already here like a few times, so I hope most of you know us by now. We posted yesterday like a proposal for opportunity, but I will try not to use the word opportunity too much. It was overused in the last 10 minutes. For a collaboration with DXDAO, and I'm here to discuss it. I don't want to read you the post. Because you can read it yourself. I want to explain it in a different way, hear your opinion, highlight some things. It was a long proposal, so obviously not everybody are going to read and dissect it, which is normal. Yeah, I should say, just to clear things out, sometimes it's confusing for everyone who is not from Almonit. There is Almonit, which is an organization. It's like an umbrella organization, and it focuses on what we call D-websites, decentralized websites. And we have a few projects under these organizations. We have a decentralized search engine, which I think is what most people know us from. It was launched a year ago, so we had like an anniversary recently. And we have a browser extension, which is how we actually began, which lets people use this kind of decentralized websites. And most of the websites that we have is like ENS and IPFS, but we also want in the future to have other kind of combination like Skynet or Swarm or all these kind of things. And then the things that we have been focusing recently is a project called Alpress, and that's basically the proposal is focused on this project. Alpress is a decentralized publication platform, so it's only ENS, IPFS, smart contracts, but it feels and look like Medium, we hope. This is the goal. Besides this kind of decentralization, what we really are into Alpress is the fact that it's self-governance. So the ownership eventually should be by the authors and the contributors, like kind of a mixture of all the parties of interest. And we really have an ideology that we think that internet platforms should be like that they should be more democratic, more owned by the actual users and not by a company who gets the revenues. It's like a democratic approach to these kind of things, and that's what we try to do here. It's a product, but also kind of an experiment. We shared the MVP of Alpress with you like a month ago, and we got lots of feedback, not only from DXDAO, also from other people, which was awesome. And then we took us a month to do the reiteration, and now we have the second version of Alpress MVP, which was yesterday released. We have the link in our Keybase channel, so I'm pasting here the link to the Keybase channel in the chat. You can check it there. We also, in the last 2 weeks, posted 3 articles showing exactly what we are trying to do. So it should answer, I think, most questions, especially not only, so Alpress have 2 things. One is like a functionality, decentralized platform for articles, but the other thing is governance, what we are trying to achieve. And the articles are going from the other direction, like saying, what is a self-governance platform? What is our philosophy? What exactly are the different components there and this kind of stuff? I hope that you read it. So I wrote it, and normally I'm not so happy with stuff that I wrote, but this time I'm actually happy with the results. So I'll be happy if people read it and give some feedback. Yeah, the proposal, basically we have I think you can divide it to two kind of opportunities. One thing is about the DXDAO and Almonit using each other products. Especially, we want DXDAO to be users of Alpress. This means the DAO itself, because we want to develop for DXDAO like an account for DAOs, that the DAO can have an account and the DAO can have official publication, official blog, but also of DX members. And this is very important for us because like I don't like this thing where engineers, including myself, eventually make products that nobody uses, and we really want people to use it. You guys are our ideal users, so we want to have it already in this stage. And the other thing that, of course, Almonit plans for the future, something I think around April, May, to also have kind of a fundraising in the same style of DXDAO with some changes. So we intend to use, Mesa and forgot the name of the other thing, something with Mint. Shit, sorry. So we want to use your products. So it goes both ways. And the other side of the proposal is the financial support, which we need now, which is small amount, and future investment, which we want in the future, like around April, May, again, when we have the whole tokens. So this is the second part. So using and financial support / investment, I want to extend on each of those parts. The question is which one to begin with, from the usage of Alpress, like the connection of the development between the organizations, or the investment. So some of you should choose, because I couldn't myself.
Yeah, maybe do the product first.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a good choice. Yeah, so I would say that there are a few things for that. First, when we developed the search engine, we had a ongoing conversation with ENS, and also a little bit of conversation with the Stopple domains, and we got feedback from them all the time. And I'm happy with how our search engine turned out to be. There are a few things to say, but in general, I'm happy. It's useful. I think it benefited ENS in the way that it was like, getting a gateway to the websites based on their name system. It benefited us, this relationship, and we want definitely to have the same thing here, like with DXDAO. Also, Alpress is a complicated project. It's more complex than the search engine because it's a platform. People come, go, they open an account. It's much more challenging to develop with the search engine, which might sound silly because it should be, if it would be Web 2.0, it would probably be simpler. But in this sphere, it's much more difficult, and we need this input all the time. So one proposal is really the MVP right now only allows accounts for private users. We want to create account for DAOs. Our idea is that basically the DAO would nominate authors of the DAO, so by some DAO proposal, and then those authors would have the power to manage the DAO blog. If some author does something really bad, then the DAO can remove it, and then one of the other author fixes it. This is our current idea. This is not in the MVP. That's one thing that we want to do. The other thing that we would really like ongoing feedback, and I think in the last month, I was, with the help of Elon, I was also bothering Elon all the time trying to get feedback from people, sometimes writing in our channel, in Keybase, sometimes private, not only again from DXDAO, from other people. But basically what I would really want is like, I find that it's much easier to get this ongoing feedback on a private basis. So I don't know who are the people in DXDAO who actually, no worries, right? I mean, so it's okay. You gave feedback, and yeah, but we want more. I don't know who are the people here who are actually writing blogs, who are the users that we are talking with, because not all of us are article writers. I don't know who are the ones who write the DXDAO blog. It would be awesome if they could contact us or me personally to have like a private ongoing connection. I'm super nice, I'm not spamming, and if somebody tells me, I need a break, when I get a hint. I'm also posting here in the chat like all the ways to reach me, which is key-based Telegram. My favorite thing is Matrix Element, but I know it's a bit less popular with DXDAO. So please do that. Yeah, and about using the DXDAO products, as I said, we plan to do that. Our taxonomy is in a draft phase. This is one of the things that we want to work in the next 2 months. So to really have a discussion about that, I think would be more appropriate in a few weeks. Is this part okay? Are there any questions? Okay, so.
Yeah, go for it. Like, continue.
I'm going for it. Sure. And then the investment. It has two parts. I should say that Almonit has been going for over a year now, and we do it in our free time, after work, partial time, and we like sponsor ourselves. We got like 1,000 donations from IPFS, which was paying for our server costs and T-shirts and stickers and this kind of stuff. And we got like a bit of donations in those Gitcoins, but it's beer money that we collect for the time that pubs would actually be open. And it was all going okay in the beginning, especially because the first 2 projects, they were demanding, but they were also very clear. And this one is much more difficult. And I think that especially maybe with this Corona lockdown, it's a bit draining. And we want to start to invest more time into it. We also want to basically create it like a DAO of Alpress and Almonit and have it like as our full-time job. This is the final goal. Like one of the problem was when we released the first MVP in a week before Christmas, and we actually planned to use the Christmas and New Year's holiday to work on it. But when the Christmas came, we were so drained that we just decided to take like a 10 days break. And then in January, we really pushed ourselves to do it like again after work time. And it's released now. But again, I mean, it's something that you cannot do for the whole time. And we want to get some kind of basic funding, financial support to be able to dedicate more time for it for the next 2 months, at least to bring it to a point where we can put it on mainnet and people can use it to make blogs. That's the idea. We are asking for $15,000, which we propose that will be given in 2 times 7.5 in the beginning, 7.5 in the end. It's for 3 people, so it's not a lot of money. I'm a freelancer, so I can really change my schedule super quickly. So I plan to do it in those 2 months, like the only thing that I will do, and get part of the money, again, quite a low salary. And the other 2 will do it partial time, but at least it would allow them, to a bit minimize their day jobs and do this in more time. If we can get it for you, it will be awesome. What DXDAO get for that, is a tool that it needs. You need a way to publish articles. I think the DXDAO right now is a Medium, and I think that like people in the DXDAO community don't have their decentralized blogs, and they should. It's part of the ethos and stuff that DXDAO should have, and it will be tailored for DXDAO. So we will work with you and make sure that you actually use it, and you actually, or at least that you actually have something that you want to use. It should also, go the ecosphere or the ecosystem, which I think is something that DXDAO should aim for, or at least we also aim for it. Like we work with the decentralized website developers and helping them, because eventually, if we want this thing to be a bit more than a niche, we should support each other. So that's another thing. On the long term, said in around April, we would also want to discuss with DXDAO, the opportunity of investing, meaning in our tokens, either token swap or actually like a real DAO to DAO investment. This obviously should bring profit to DXDAO if we do everything properly, and I hope we do. So, we have like then the same alignments. Yeah, this was my, I think, summary of the proposal. Elon, I think, read it because he already gave us feedback. So if I forgot anything, he can correct me now. But otherwise, I would be happy to question feedback to know what's the process to do next. Yeah, thank you.
Super cool. Thanks for the presentation. I think there's going to be a whole bunch of kind of like product opportunities around DAOs, and I think this is one of them, right? Like basically, if you look at the Web 2 world, traditional world, blogging platforms are a thing, but as we started DXDAO, it was, started like developing things with DXDAO, it like was a problem because, who's going to control the Medium blog, right? Like that's why DXDAO didn't have, or like doesn't really have a Medium account or anything, right? Because there's no way for the DAO itself to control it. So I think this is like a very cool product opportunity, like kind of market opportunity in the DAO space. And it's cool to see the proposal. Sorry for the delay. I haven't given you guys feedback yet, but I do some writing around DXDAO, and we'll try to take a closer look. But I think it's an awesome market opportunity, and great to hear that you guys are decentralization maximalists like Elon. That gets me excited.
We are definitely maximalists.
Like Geronimo. Sorry, did Tom want to speak?
Yeah, well, I had like one more question. I didn't read the blog post yet. Sorry, not the forum post. But what would DXDAO get in return for the investment?
Yeah, so as I said, like it's more. We have like a list, which I'm not sure if we had it there, but we should have like a list of 4 things that DXDAO will get from this, let's say, collaboration. One of them is that like a tool that DXDAO needs, so. And especially a tool which is tailored for DXDAO needs. It will have account for DAOs, which our MVP doesn't have, and we really want to collaborate with people from DXDAO to have it in something which fits how you guys function and fits how the DAO works and these kind of things. This is probably for the first investment the main thing that you get, a system which is tailored to your system and have the features that you want. Then for the long-term investment, which is not what we are asking now, but this is like something it is included in the post, but it's not what we're asking right now. We want to discuss in April. Then it will be, so profit from the tokens. I don't want to discuss it right now because our tokenomics is not ready yet. If we get some kind of support from you now, we can probably, discuss a discount or more tokens, or already included like in kind of the future investment, but it is slightly too early to discuss this specific part.
Got it. Yeah, I just wanted to know whether there's going to be like a token on it. But yeah, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah, we have a bit of details about it in our third post. So the first, like I said, we wrote like 3 blog posts about it. The first 2 are really philosophical about ideal about what we are trying to achieve, and the third one is has more details. And if you look there, you will see where we stand now with our thoughts about the tokens, but they are not finalized yet.
Yeah. Oh, do you guys want to comment?
Yeah, I have a general question. I always liked Ammonites. I think I was one of the first followers on Twitter, and yeah, like I'm a fan of your team. Just so you know, like a simple question. I'm not sure if you like looked into Mirror.xyz. They're trying to do the same thing, right?
Okay, I have to say I didn't hear about it. I cannot comment about it. So that's the first thing. I cannot quite compare about it. I have to look at it. We are trying to do but really 2 things. One of them is the decentralized publication platform, but the other thing is this really whole self-governing platform, which are a bit separate, because a self-governing platform is like a general idea of a platform that belongs to the users of the platform, which manage that in a democratic way. And then the specific platform that we choose is a publication, because that's like the easiest thing to implement, probably. I don't know exactly what they do, but if they take a different angle at it, it's fine. There were other efforts to make publication platforms for decentralized websites. Skynet has one. Unstoppable Domain did something which is like a centralized website that you can make decentralized blogs, and then they took it off and they said that they will bring it back this year. I don't know why, but right now it's not working. So it's the way that we see it, it's really the combination of the both things, because like part of our view is that when you publish an article in some place, you also care who are your neighbors in the same space. And this question of who is the neighbors should be decided by the community of the people who publish there, and not by some kind of organization. This is like a really a main thing for us. We wrote it like already a few months ago, but right now with what happened with Twitter and Trump, and I'm not taking any stance here, but with what happened, like I think it's kind of became clear, because maybe Twitter should have blocked Trump, maybe they should have not, but I think it should have been a decision of the users of Twitter, and the same goes for all those platforms. So I have many friends from all sides of politics, things from many countries, and some of the stuff that they write, I think actually should be blocked, but I want it to be like a community decision. So it's not only the publication thing that we are doing, it's like more of a community publication and how the governance, and it's all like packed together. So I hope I didn't shoot my own leg by mentioning politics. I don't have a very strong political opinion. I just really want stuff to be decided by the community. That's what I want to stress.
I have a couple of questions. So the 15,000 you're asking for is not the investment part, right? Just to be clear, that is more like building this prototype with kind of DXDAO requirements.
So this is for the next 2 months to allow us to focus on finishing it, to free more time for that. As I said, it's slow now because we don't have time to put there, and it's also a bit draining to always do it like in the evening and the weekends. I would say that, if DXDAO approves it, and when we come to discuss the tokens, we can mention that, and maybe also give some tokens for that. But and with this also organization, I cannot give any promise for the next. So everything that I said so far was agreement of, the Almonit team. The think about how we treat this investment in the future, as if we take it like as tokens, we can either discuss it in the comments, but I cannot give any promise myself because I cannot make this decision.
I think it's okay for this to be framed not as an investment if it's meeting requirements from the DXDAO, right? Like I don't think I would support it if you guys are just going to go build whatever you want. But if you had input from, some of the folks that are writing the blog for DXDAO and understand that some of the things that we see as problems, and those are kind of specifically spec'd out in this proposal, then I would support it, right? Because I think we do need that. Yeah.
We want the feedback. We want the people to contact us. I gave my details so that they will do it. We want people to use what we build, not only us, really.
Right, but do you see what I'm saying? There's a little bit of a difference between us being like users of your platform and giving you feedback versus like, this is what we think we need, and like, can your system meet these requirements with this, agreement that we're paying you for that prototype? Yeah.
Sure, I got it. How do we make this list of requirements? Probably should be okay, but like, who do we contact with about it?
I think we should we should probably talk about it in that Keybase channel. I think there are specific people who have been doing certain things. Like I think of Chris Powers, who's been writing a lot, Augusto and Dev Violet, who have both been doing kind of blog related tech work. I think if we get the right people together, we can kind of see what everybody thinks is needed. And if you can meet kind of those needs and everybody's excited about it, then it sort of feels like something DXDAO should fund to meet, or just to like build our own, like kind of meet our own requirements,
Fantastic. I will try to gather these people in Keybase and then discussion and see the rest. Awesome. Thanks.
My second, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, do you have another thing you want to say? Because
one more question, but go ahead.
All right. So, like the way I see this is, this first kind of phase is sort of a worker proposal, right? It's Almonit will allow the DXDAO to own and govern its own like publication platform, so its own blog in a decentralized way, and obviously the spec for that needs to be kind of like outlined and then iterated on before it starts. But then the other stages are kind of, I think it's relates to what we've been talking about before, whether it's like incubation investment or, something along these lines, which, we're trying to structure. So yeah, like a product kind of working with DXDAO, gets an investment with DXDAO, uses and participates with the DXDAO community and kind of like launching a product. So I think this could be like a, great long-term kind of opportunity. And this worker proposal is, I think we call it like a minimum viable partnership. No, because that's also MVP. We call it something else. But yeah, something along these lines. So yeah, I think this could be great.
Yeah, totally. And I think it's a kind of common practice for startups to be prototyping for who they see as customers or potential power users. And I think kind of DXDAO fits that bill here. So my second question though is about, you mentioned that you guys are kind of doing this part-time, which I understand is difficult, but shows how passionate you are about it. If you were to raise funding, say you do a Mesa sale or whatever in the spring, how many of the team would be able to come on full-time?
I mean, the intention is for all of us. So
Okay,
that's the intention. It's a bit like, so I can do it immediately because I'm a freelancer. I'm from Israel/Berlin, and I could also allow right now to put a bit more of my time. The others are from places where the economic situation is a bit less stable, let's put it like this. And for them, it will be a process because they need to know that they can, get like enough a salary for that for at least a year or something. So it will be a process, but definitely this is where we aim for.
So if you were to raise enough funding for like an 18-month runway, let's say, then you think everybody would be full-time?
That's what we agreed, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, any other questions or thoughts?
I was just wondering about that blog you mentioned. So would everybody need the Almonit extension in order to access that blog, or like how would it work? No.
You need an Almonit extension to access the blog because the blogs right now are on Rinkeby testnet, and Almonit extension is the only thing that supports ENS on Rinkeby testnet. So that's why you need it now. But once it's ready, any way to access ENS websites, there is ETH link, there is domains have, MetaMask, I don't know, Brave will add it at some point probably. So no.
And is there some document that like outlines that in more detail, like that?
You have like free links in the proposal itself for free blog articles about it, and then in Keybase you have a link for the MVP itself, which shows you the current functionality, and to another document that shows you how to use the MVP. Mm-hmm. And for any more questions, we are here, but we really try to cover everything.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, awesome. So we do have a bit more time. Is Tavus still here from
Yes, I
Effectus?
am. Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Okay.
And Tavus, maybe?
Okay. How much time I have? We are at that time. We are out of the time a little bit. So if you give me how much?
We have like 10 minutes. Like we're always over time. So.
Okay. Okay. Great. Hello, everyone. Again, I am Rashid Tavus. I am a lawyer currently working at European Court of Human Rights as a lawyer. My experience is, most of the time as a lawyer, I practice in criminal law. I have around 8 years experience at the law. I am also a PhD candidate at criminal law, writing my thesis. I am also Bitcoin investor and a trader, at least for 6 years, I think. Yes, for the 6 years. I will give you a short story from how we evaluated from a single person to and decided to form a company called like Effectus Network, and why I like the DXDAO and why we want to use the Mesa. Just a brief, short explanation. And I would like to accept your questions after my explanations. Basically, when I started to start investing the Bitcoin and the others, because there was some difficulties in Turkey, PayPal got some restrictions in Turkey. In that time, I was a research assistant in university at law school. And it was very hard if the PayPal is blocked by your legal authorities. Then the transferring money to out of the country is very difficult. Buying things from eBay is very difficult. Buying things from somewhere else, it was very difficult. And I just met with Bitcoin much earlier than many other people, because of it was something we needed to use if we want to buy something from abroad. And there was always the investment opportunities. As a lawyer, you know, just I always, as a criminal lawyer, I always deal with the scammers, you know, sometimes hackers, because I have worked, I had 2 years experience in a law, as a lawyer in a IT solution company, who just one of the biggest software group in the Turkey. And there was lots of hack scam business in softwares. I was got so much experience about the IT part of it, at least. So I just decided to rate the opportunities by myself. Is that a legit or is that a scam? How risky it is? But I was doing it on a legal basis. Basically, I was looking the company's the company founded, how is the owners behaving? Will it be an exit scam or will it be a different? Many of you will remember all the times, in that times, the money have been collected was much more serious than right now. Currently, the average amount raised is around 1 million, 2 million, maybe $100,000. But in that times, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, it was like 30 million, 40 million at average amount, you know. Yeah, so I didn't want it to get scammed. I didn't want it to be a victim of exit scam, and I was very careful. And after that, I just met some other lawyers who was also blockchain lovers like me, and we just found a secret or private group. Basically, we started to go and negotiate with the new startups. We were asking from them, you know, okay, we will help you to prepare yourself. We will help you to assist you in legal way, but in the exchange of that, so give us some allocation for the seed round, private round, or pre-sale round. By this way, we were able to make much more money than the usual investors can make. I just got so many experiences with my friends. Even we won't use the pools what we got. So we were selling the pools what we have to the pools which the individuals can contribute. Basically, you will ask why you were selling the pools what you got as allocation, because we were thinking, you know, maybe it is not a good opportunity to invest, and people were crazy to buy our share in that seed round or private round, whatever. It gave me so much experience, and I started to rate, and I started to list every person in that time of the startups. Later, I realized that there is a problem, and there is no individual law company handling the protecting the individual, especially in the decentralized finance. You guys, as DXDAO, you just handling it by your way to protect individuals from the bad people, scammers, or the hackers in your way. And I really respect that. And some of you already know, as myself, already waiting for the Mesa over than 1 month, not for the other platforms. So in the respect of protecting the individuals, I made some resources, you know, just how I can improve that. But in that time, one of my prosecutor friends from the Turkey called me and reached me, and he just asked me about some things about the Bitcoin. You know, he just said, one person came and he just say he's a victim, and he just say his Bitcoins have been stolen because he sent some money to some wallet. And I just said, can you send me that wallet details? And I just checked from that scam alerts IO, and I just said, you know, just check in the scam alerts. If you would be checking a basic check, he would realize that Bitcoin address is full of scam. And I just said, also people don't know scam alerts or bitcoinabuse.com. And I just started to check about them. You know, I already had my personal blacklist for it, and for the people, for the organization, whatsoever. But when I check, the Binance Bitcoin wallets have been reported at Bitcoin Abuse for the full 5-page, the Binance Bitcoin wallet. But the scam alerts, when you enter the Binance wallet to scam alerts, they just say it is verified wallet. Just simple from scam alerts IO, it just say verified, but how, they don't say. But at the scam, at the bitcoinabuse.com, they just say there is 5 full page of the comments that the stolen Bitcoins went to that website. So a system needed, if the stolen Bitcoins going to a centralized wallet, that we will be able to